What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel or maybe you're one of those ghost watchers, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does also help give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed back to Gotham City, formerly known as New York City, because it looks like Alvin Bragg is handing out plea deals. He's handing out plea deals to everybody, plea deals and slaps on the wrist to everyone except for his arch nemesis, Trump. Everyone's getting plea deals except for him. Apparently, if you sleep with a woman, pay her off and don't file your paperwork correctly, allegedly, and mark it off as legal fees. So technically you might have did a misstep there. You deserve 20 years in prison. But if you put hands and feet on a police officer after crossing the border illegally and then proceeding to commit crime after being released from putting hands and feet on a police officer, you can get a plea deal and most likely possibly be out of jail in about 4 to 6 months. Yeah, don't worry about it. And no deportations, no ICE, none of that stuff. No back to Venezuela, none of that stuff. You get to continue to roam the streets of New York City being a criminal, which is what you came here to do. And this article pretty much proves that to be true. So let's get into it right now. This article here is titled Alvin Bragg offers plea deal to migrants accused of attacking NYC cops as he prosecutes Trump. So let's get into this article right now. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor linked to billionaire George Soros, who is currently prosecuting former President Donald Trump on 34 felony counts, has offered plea deals to 6 of 9 migrants accused of attacking 2 New York Police Department officers in January. On January 27th, a mob of Venezuelan migrants were caught on surveillance and police body cam footage attacking a pair of NYPD officers outside of a taxpayer-funded migrant shelter in Midtown Manhattan. 9 migrants have since been charged with the attack. According to a report from the New York Post, Bragg's office has offered plea deals to 6 of the migrants. Now, here's where I start butchering some Venezuelan names. Forgive me as we power through this section right here. Specifically, Bragg's office has offered 24-year-old Yohenry Brito, 21-year-old Ulysses Bujaquez, and 19-year-old Darwin Gomez plea deals that would have them plead guilty to second-degree assault and serve just a year in prison, which will most likely turn into probably 4 to 6 months tops, and then they'll get out. Now let's get to the Brito character, I believe the 21-year-old, right? And this is very important to note. Brito's plea deal offer came even as he was arrested last week for shoplifting children's clothes and perfumes at Macy's flagship in Manhattan. So this guy, as recent as last week, was out here stealing like crazy. Got caught stealing perfume, got caught stealing children's clothes, all up in Macy's, well, all up in Kids R Us. Stealing stuff after being released from putting hands and feet on a police officer, and he's getting a plea deal that'll most likely have him out of jail in about 4 to 6 months. He was out on bail in the cop attack case at the time of the shoplifting arrest and has since been set free in the shoplifting cases as well. So apparently in New York City, it's impossible to be placed in jail for the most part. If you're a Venezuelan illegal immigrant, that is, it's impossible for you to go to jail. It's just not possible. You can put hands and feet on the cop and they'll release you. After being released on bail from attacking a cop, allegedly, I guess, even though it's on camera. You can go out and continue shoplifting at Kids R Us and Macy's, stealing all type of perfume and kids clothing, and you will be released again, right, with a case pending on you of a violent assault on a police officer. So no matter what you do, you get released over and over again, and then you'll get a slap on the wrist in the form of a plea deal that'll have you out in 4 to 6 months. Amazing. It must be good to be an illegal immigrant in the United States in 2024. In addition, Bragg's office has offered 19-year-old Kelvin Servita and 21-year-old Wilson Juarez a plea deal that would have them plead guilty to obstructing a government administration and serve only 6 months in prison. So they'll be out in 3 months. The two migrants are members of Venezuelan violent Tren de Aragua gang. That's very interesting. So those two people that'll be out of prison in 6 months, really 3 months, but they're going to take a plea deal for 6 months. Those two are known members of the violent Venezuelan gang that has been imported into the United States by way of Biden's migrant crisis, because they didn't exist here prior to that. They just weren't here. Once the borders were open, that's when an influx of Tren de Aragua started coming into the United States and forming in New York City. The FBI has noted this on numerous occasions concerning the concerns they have of possible violent turf war that could break out in New York between this gang Tren de Aragua and MS-13. Now, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on that, just so you understand who this gang is, how violent and dangerous they are. These two individuals apparently are known members of this gang. They were involved in this assault on 2 officers. And yeah, they're going to get a plea deal that will have them out of jail in 6 months, realistically more like 3 months. Okay. Okay, let's butcher some more Venezuelan names now. Your men, Rev Ron, 24 years old, has also been offered a plea deal where he would serve 2 years in prison for second-degree assault. While Bragg offers plea deals to the migrants, his office is currently prosecuting Trump on 34 felony counts, accusing him of operating a far-reaching hush money scheme. You see, this is exactly why the polls have showed repeatedly over and over again that, number one, a little over half the population isn't even keeping up with Trump's hush money trial because they know that is BS and they know that is foolishness. Also, the polls have shown that, especially in key swing states, this trial isn't having the desired effect of pushing people away from Trump. One can argue that the hush money trial is actually bringing Trump support, but it's definitely not impacting him negatively. And the reason that is because of situations like this. You literally have illegal immigrants who broke the law to get here, continued to break the law numerous times while they are here, as known violent gang members, right, on record for being that, get off essentially scot-free. You're watching these guys get a slap on the wrist. 1 year plea deal, 6 month plea deals. These guys are going to be in jail for a couple months, and then they're out back on the streets. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's political opposition, Donald Trump, they're trying to body slam him with at least 20 years for having a little fun, allegedly, with a porn star, and paying her off and just not filing his paperwork correctly, allegedly. Yeah, that's why Biden on the polls is losing and losing bad. So we'll see how things pan out in November. We see how things are panning out in New York. If you're an illegal immigrant Venezuelan, you can essentially do whatever you want and get off scot-free. If you're a U.S. citizen, you could forget about it. You're going to do some time in jail. You're definitely going to get locked up. But with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So thank you all for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. Share this video on your social media platforms, and don't forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below. It'll be pinned in the comment section as well. And until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.